What a day of NBA basketball was yesterday. The G League Nets took down the number one seeded Bucks. The Mavericks, led by Luka and his triple-double, took down the Kings in overtime. Devin Booker hit a game winner in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George's face. TJ Warren continued his Michael Jordan-like performance against the Orlando Magic. The Jimmy Butler-less Heat beat the Boston Celtics. And to be honest with you, the Blazers-Rockets game has not started yet when I'm recording this, so you'll have to find out at the end of the video what happened there. And in the first game of the day, it was the Nets upsetting the Bucks 119 to 116. Timothy Luwawu Cabarrot had 26 points, leading all scorers. Jamal Crawford made his Nets debut today, only played 6 minutes. He strained his left hamstring, and he did not return. He should be back for their next game, though. Jarrett Allen, Karis LeVert, and Joe Harris did not play for the Nets today, while Giannis and Chris Middleton did not play in the second half because the Bucks have already clinched the 1 seed pretty much. But this is a big win for the Nets because it propelled them into the 7 seed with the Magic losing. And they'll most likely fall back to the 8 seed just because their schedule is very hard and their team is not that good. When they play against teams that don't sit their best players in the second half, they're probably not going to win. But as you see, Garrett Temple hit a clutch shot there to give the Nets a 3-point lead with 7 seconds left. And on the final play of the game, it was DiVincenzo trying to hit Korver. He wasn't open. Went back to Dante, and it just wasn't a good play. The Nets did great defense there. And yeah, let's just move on to the next game of the day. That one was pretty self-explanatory. And for the next game, the Mavericks versus the Kings was a big game from Luka Doncic. 34 points, 20 rebounds, and 12 assists. A monster triple-double in 44 minutes that he played. Porzingis finished with 22 in a Mavericks W over the Kings in overtime. The Kings have pretty much fallen out of the playoff hunt at this point. They're 0-3 in their first 3 games. And the first 2 they should have won. They weren't against above 500 teams. And they just haven't showed much from the bubble yet. But the Mavericks are now 2-1, and they're playing pretty well. Luka obviously is dominant, and they're pretty much secured for the 7th seed at this point. And they're going to be playing the Clippers most likely. It's going to be a good experience for Luka in the playoffs. We'll see how he can handle Paul George and Kawhi throwing doubles at him. But Porzingis should be able to help him because Porzingis has been very good so far. And my bad, the Mavericks are actually 1-2 in this bubble so far. But all 3 games have been very competitive, though, as Buddy Hield drains the 3 there. But in overtime, the Kings just fell short. They couldn't get it done, and Luka just destroyed them. I mean, Luka, 20 rebounds is just unacceptable for Luka. Like, Harry Giles has to be getting those rebounds. And Kent Bazemore recently has been making comments saying, the Kings are more talented at the teams they're playing. They've been playing better. But clearly that's not the case because they're not winning. But yeah, let's just move on to the next game. That's about all I got to say for this one. And for the Suns versus the Clippers, this is a really good one. The Suns are now 3-0 in the bubble. Devin Booker at 35 in this game, shooting 6 for 9 from the 3-point line. Paul George finished with 23 and Kawhi had 27. But the Suns have really made a push here. They're 1 game behind the 9 seed now, and they've just been playing really well. Cam Johnson has been hooping for them at the power forward position. And Ayton is taking a big step. He had 19 points today. Rubio also had 18. And Cameron Payne, they picked him up, a free agent, before the bubble. He's been playing well for them, 12 points today with 3 assists. But the Suns are showing that they can be competitive, and they want the playoff spot. And check out this final play here. Big steal from Bridges, who's been great for them. Devin Booker's going to just dribble the clock out over Paul George and Kawhi. What a shot, fading, looking like Kobe, and hits it straight in net. Wins the game for the Clippers. Clippers are 3-0 in the bubble, but the Suns are 3-0 in the bubble, but their schedule does get a lot harder with their next game being against the Pacers and TJ Warren. We'll get to them next. Pacers versus Magic. The Pacers outscored the Orlando Magic 22-43 in the first quarter. 21 more points than them. Electric start from the Pacers. The Magic outscored the Pacers by 10 in the second half, but it wasn't enough to come back. They couldn't cut it down to more than 9. And the Pacers, led by TJ Warren, 32 points, and Miles Turner with 21 points, dominated the game. Vooch Vucevic had 24 points, Gordon had 20, and Terrence Ross also chipped in with 20, but it just wasn't enough. If the Pacers can play like this, they have the ability to move up to the 3 seed. They're 2.5 games back from the 3 seed, 1 game back from the 4 seed. It's going to look like a good first round matchup. TJ Warren and the Pacers first, Jimmy Butler and the Heat. Everyone will want to see that, let's be honest. But the Pacers are now 3-0 in the bubble, the Magic 2-1, and the Pacers have just been very, very good. And if they can play like this the rest of the bubble, I don't think I would want to play them in the playoffs. It's a very good team and well coached by Nate McMillan. Malcolm Brogdon running the point guard, former Rookie of the Year, obviously very nice to have. As you see that nice pass to Oladipo for the dunk. Oladipo's back healthy. He had 13 points today. And yeah, the Pacers team is looking very, very scary. Let's get to the next matchup, the Heat versus Celtics. So the next matchup here was the Celtics versus the Heat. The Heat took the W without Jimmy Butler, led by Bam with 21 points, Duncan Robinson with 21 points, and Dragic had 20 off the bench. It was a great game from the Heat. Their ball movement looked really, really good out there. Their defense also very, very good. Jason Tatum was limited to 23 points, and Kemba was only at 15. Jaylen Brown at 18. Normally, the Celtics do not win unless one of those players is dropping in the 20s, Jaylen Brown or Kemba. They're two leading scorers behind Tatum. And yeah, the Celtics are obviously a very good team, but not enough tonight. They're still going to stay in the 3rd seed, but they're not too far ahead of the Heat, who are in the 4th seed. They're only 1.5 games ahead of the Heat now. So could the Heat climb into that 3rd seed and end up playing the 76ers? Honestly, not too sure. Hopefully they don't. We want to see that TJ Warren, Jimmy Butler matchup, of course. But the Celtics, they tried to fight into the game late, but it just wasn't enough. They had a nice little run going, but the Heat just kept coming right back at them. Duncan Robinson is such an elite shooter and hard to guard off of all the screens that are set for him. And Bam is just an amazing center who can play very good defense and offense when you need it. The Celtics and Gordon Hayward has been very underrated for them this season, and especially in the bubble. He's been doing very good things for them. He had 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists today. Just an underrated player since coming back from injury. But yeah, the Heat are going to take this W and play the Bucks on Thursday. And for the Blazers versus the Rockets, probably the best game of the night. Damian Lillard drops 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists to lead the Blazers to a major W to keep them in the 9 seed, only a game and a half back from the Grizzlies for the 8 seed, who will probably fall out unless they play very well because Jaren Jackson Jr. just tore his meniscus. Sad news for the Grizzlies. But in light of this game, Nurkic dropped 18 and 19 rebounds, and Gary Trent Jr. chipped off 16 points off the bench. He's been great for them. Melo had a clutch 3 with 15 points and 11 boards. For the Rockets, it was Harden with 23. Jeff Green actually dropped 22 on 5 3-pointers. Westbrook had a kind of a light night for him, 15 points. But Melo hit the shot of the game. Carmelo Anthony hit the 3 to give them the lead right here, as you see. Bang, 5-point lead for the Blazers. That was the shot. That gave them the W. The Rockets did not score another point after that. And this is a big one for the Blazers, who obviously want to stay in the 9th or move to the 8th seed so they can get into the playoffs. And honestly, they're scary if they get in the playoffs. You don't want to play Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and Nurkic in the first round. If you're the Lakers, that will take way too much work than it should be for the 1 seed. But yeah, that's going to be it for the night, man. This is the first time I've done this, so let me know if it was a W or not. Should I do it every day? I'm going to try. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. Like this video if you enjoyed, and peace.